Hello, everyone, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Top 10. I am John Roca.
And I am Matt Nost, and we are pleased to be here another week doing the Top 10 with everybody out there listening. And our thanks to, once again, another patron. It's like our third week in a row.
Yes.
We've been getting so many good ones. San Fernando sent in a acting runs, who has had the best run. So we're doing that one today, but we'll get to that in a minute. But we're excited, looking forward to it. What's new with you?
Just working on a bunch of stuff. Just saw The Last Duel last night at a screening as we're recording this. The Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Adam Driver, and the Jodie Comer film. And I liked it. Good. It's a medieval film set in medieval times, but it obviously has topical stuff because she's a woman who was raped and accuses her accuser and has to go up against a male-dominated situation to try to get her voice heard and get some justice. So Jodie Comer is stellar in the movie, man. It's amazing how someone is just toiling away, doing their thing, and they get that series and they are just ready to step up to the plate. It's incredible. And she's been fantastic. Free Guy, she was great in Free Guy. She's damn incredible in this movie. And Driver's good too. And but Damon, I don't know. I feel like I don't know where we're at with Damon, Matt, because I feel like he was good in Stillwater, but nobody went to see it. And he's good here, but he doesn't really stand out. So are we on the descent of Matt Damon? Like, have we hit the peak?
I think that's...
I don't know. Are we on... Not that he's not any good anymore. It's more like, are we going to get the Informer, Talented Mr. Ripley performances again? Was I mean, because I wanted him nominated for this last one, but after this, I don't know. Are we on the descent? I don't know. I'm asking a question.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because he's done so much great work up until this point that I don't see why. There are lulls in every career once it's long enough, and that's kind of what this show's about. On some, well,
yeah, that's true.
Because there's quite a few people that don't make my list because you're like, look, that's 3 years. What, and then it's like a 2-year hiatus before we get back to anything remotely, and then it's like another 2 years, then a year off. Yeah, where they're putting. There's like one guy that's not making my list on this one, who has worked nonstop since he broke.
Wow,
does 5 movies a year every year, but the problem is over the course of 2 years, they could be 10 films and 1, maybe 2 of them are great. Like there's 8 or 9 others in there that are just mediocre, bad, middling, whatever. And I don't begrudge that individual for working so much. It's like, awesome, dude, that's what makes you happy. Go crazy.
Yeah. Right.
It doesn't affect my belief in your, performance. And even in those, movies that I don't like as much, I still like you in them.
Yeah.
Of the ones I've seen, but I also know that I can tune out for quite a few of these. So I think it could be Damon. There's also the different pressure of every film that you lead needs to be kind of big. So what if he fell back into some ensemble stuff, like he ends up in a spotlight type of thing? I could see that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's not a good actor anymore. I'm more saying like, have we hit the time of his career where other people are out acting him in his own films? And certainly coming out of Last Duel, I felt like Driver and Jodie Comer were like miles ahead of him in the movie.
Oh,
and Ben Affleck's in there as well. And I think Ben Affleck did a nice job, but I also think he kind of regressed back to being
he's a director behind
chasing
the scenes
Amy
kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think at this point that's where the majority of his focus appears to be from the outside looking in. I don't know. Well, it's also perhaps it's the different pressure too of they wrote it and they're part of I'm guessing their production companies, the ones that are doing it. So it's the full scope of everything.
Right.
Whereas
Right.
the other two just get to focus on, I need to show up and really crush this job. Not to say that Damon or Affleck or anybody else isn't trying to do that too, but they are being pulled in other directions simultaneously while working on this project.
Yeah.
And perhaps it's one of those, they're so in awe by the other two of, man, we wrote that and they performed that even better than I was hoping for. That's awesome. It could be that.
Yeah. Right. Because I mean, Well, no, maybe I'm wrong because I mean Ford versus Ferrari, he was great.
He's great. Him and Bale are both fantastic in it.
Yeah, they are.
Bale gets the bigger part because his character gets to be more of a live wire.
Yeah.
But he is awesome in Ford versus Ferrari. I just rewatched that like I don't know, 3 weeks ago, a month ago.
Yeah, really? Okay. Well, maybe this is a resurgence then. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong because Martian was 2015, but then Jason Bourne didn't do well. And he wasn't bad in it, just wasn't good. The Great Wall, he got ridiculed for.
Didn't see it.
Downsizing is terrible. Suburbicon was not good. I didn't see Unsane, the one with Claire Foy.
I did not see that.
And then Ford versus Ferrari comes in 2019. So maybe there was a little bit of a lull here, and now in Ford versus Ferrari and Stillwater, and he does do a good job in Last Duel. I'm not saying he isn't good in it, but so yeah, maybe he's on the come up again, finding new and interesting projects to have a part in.
Yeah, very well could be. And perhaps we redo this list one day, and he is now at the top. Like he's part. This could be the crest of the biggest wave in the history of cinema. Who knows?
The Damon wave. I don't know. But he's a dad now. He's settled. You know. It's
he's got more than one kid.
It's tough.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, just at a different. I mean, he's lost all his connection to any kind of real life.
Yeah.
Or at least more average life.
Right.
I could. He is now part of the group of individuals. If you ask them what a gallon of milk costs, there's a damn good chance he doesn't have the slightest clue.
That's probably true.
The craziest is when you find out about some of those and they're like, what is it, $20? You're like, $20?
Think about it. Milk, $20?
If nothing else, you can basically kind of peg it to the what a gallon of gas costs.
Right.
So they're fairly close.
Go with me. $20? You really think milk is $20?
I can't remember who was.
It was Bush.
But there have been other people too, which is like, I don't know, $20. And you're like, what? $10 I could understand. Maybe.
Yeah.
$20? Jesus.
If I ever got rich, I don't care how rich I get, I would still go to the fucking store, for God's sakes.
I guess it really comes down to what level of rich you're talking about.
Right.
Because some people, it's just not even advantageous for their time.
Did you see the person that won like $700 million? They won the lottery the other 700 million.
No, Powerball or something?
Yeah, it was the Powerball. $700 million. Can you imagine?
That number doesn't make sense. Well, to go from not having it to even after taxes, you're talking what, near 400 million?
Oh yeah.
400. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't compute.
I would gladly do that. I would gladly win 400 million.
Oh, of course.
Put it in the fucking interest thing. Set aside a bunch of money for charities and shit like that, and then just fucking chill out on that money. Go hang out in my beach house.
Yeah.
Run the podcast, do the stereo. I mean, I wouldn't stop doing it because it'd be fun. I'd have even more time because I wouldn't have to be stressed out.
Well, you'd be selective about your time.
Exactly. Even better.
But I'd be curious as to how long that actually lasted.
Yeah, a lot of people lose their money once they spend all their money once they get it, which is so.
Well, I'm talking about you podcasting. I'm not saying you wouldn't do it for a while, but
I think it would last forever. Are you kidding? Oh my God. Because I would buy the greatest, most comfortable studio ever. And I would just flip on the mic and just sit there with 7 TVs in front of me. And I would totally pull the Howard Hughes. There's no lie. Like 7 TVs, the most comfortable fucking rocking chair or comfortable leather chair.
I just think after a couple of years, you'd probably give it up. You have $400 million.
You're insane.
You can go and do anything in the entire world that you want to. You really want to sit and have to watch movies and TV shows, upcoming stuff. That's how you want to spend your time of the job of, I got to review this and interview this. Meanwhile, the actor that you're interviewing knows that you have $400 million in the bank. No, it's going to get weird. And you're going to eventually go, I don't feel like doing this tonight. I don't have the incentive of.
I don't want to get soft though. I don't want to get soft.
You'll find other things to occupy your time. I believe it's just a guess.
Aren't you the guy that won $400 million? What are you doing interviewing me for?
Yeah. It's, you have some up and coming, somebody wants to promote their new show coming out on whatever streaming service. Throw a dart, pick one. Netflix has some show, and you're going to interview an actress off of that who's like 24 years old, and this is one of her first big breaks.
Respect what I built.
And you have $400 million. You're gonna do the prep for that? I wouldn't.
Oh man.
I mean, would funny. I still, if I had still watch all the basketball? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I think I'd continue doing dropping dimes? Probably not.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna watch all the games. I'm still gonna enjoy. But it just that ends and be like, oh yeah, I'm flying to Barbados.
I'm out. Bitches.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on my yacht and go over here. We got Wi-Fi on the yacht. Maybe I might do it. I mean, I got $400 million. I can afford it if they can make it happen. It's just I don't know if it's got to be all satellite phone, and then it gets expensive. Even though I got $400 million, it's like dumb money. This is a waste of money.
Yeah, totally. Give it to me. Funny stuff, man. Anyway, what's up with you?
Nothing much. Just hanging and banging, baby. Just hanging and banging. Hanging and banging. Done. I was up cleaning out gutters and sweeping up yesterday. Took 4 hours.
God damn.
Yep.
Sorry, dude.
Well, it's because we got fucking bamboo. And those things, I never knew they shed as much as they do. And there's 2 gutters in particular that just get hit, and I got to clean them out twice a year. I should probably do it more often because it took me that fucking long. So it's you knock it all down, and then you got to sweep it all up and clean everything up afterwards. And it just rained the other day, so it was all gross.
Yeah.
But that's why I was like, shit, if we're getting into the rainy season, I need to get this out because it's just going to fuck the gutters up. And I'm an old man. That's what so I have more housework to do today, and then tomorrow's an entire day of it, and then I'm done for the week.
Oh, nice. Yes. On Friday, you're done for the week.
I'm done for this week. Well, it just moves on, man. But I need to finish Fridays. I have to rewire some stuff because we're getting a new washer and dryer.
Oh, nice.
Put in a new plug and upgrade some other things, and then we're putting in a new washer and dryer on Monday.
That's good.
But I have to get everything prepped and ready for that so that when the delivery comes, it's just plug and play. Because I don't want to have to deal with those 2 things on Monday.
Yeah.
So yeah, welcome to being a homeowner. And then that one finishes, and I have another one right after that. It never fucking ends.
Kaboom.
It never fucking ends. That's all right though. Some of them I enjoy, most of them.
Yeah, it's life.
Yeah. Others they can go straight to hell. But like digging out that tree, I didn't mind that one.
Yeah.
Actually, it took 3 days.
Oof.
I showed my buddy a picture of it afterwards. I only took a picture when it was down to, I had a quarter of it left.
Yeah.
I quartered it after I dug down, and he said the same thing that I thought when I was doing it. It looks like petrified wood.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I can text you a picture of it.
Yeah, sure.
Well, that way, I mean, at least the 2 of us, everybody listening, fuck off. I can show people that potentially that are watching.
Oh yeah, I'll bring it up on the screen if you text it to me. I'll bring it up.
Sure.
I'll share the screen and bring it up there.
Sure. Let me just cycle through, and I'll send it over to you. Now this is just a quarter of it, but it weighed like 40, 50 pounds in this picture.
Wow.
Just this quarter.
Craziness.
See the after. There we go. So there are the 2. There's a long distance shot and then one up close.
Okay.
It says,
oh, wow. All right.
So
let me save them real quick and I'll bring them up on the screen.
It's really, I should have left. If you're ever on Imager, I should have put like a banana for scale to show you what the size of it was. There's no real scale.
Oh. Okay.
But if you can see it, so you get on the close up of the closer piece. That took 3 days.
Okay.
And basically killed one chainsaw.
Wow.
Well, it was an old chainsaw. It was something the old homeowner left here.
Right.
And it was fine. But even with a new chainsaw, it still took a long fucking time. And that was 3 days. But anyway, so it just that finished. Okay, this week are these things.
Yeah.
The gutters. I need to do this electrical and get everything ready. And clean out the garage is what I'm doing as soon as we finish today. Is I'm cleaning out the garage.
Wow.
It's got to be done for the electrical. So it's just one thing after another. It's fine. It's all right. Finish this one. Move on to the next. And I already know what those next things are too. That's the best part.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you think it's over? There's one looming that I just don't want to do. I've already done half of it, which is paint the interior of the house.
Right.
But we have our bedroom and like the main living room with TV and where this desk is and all that stuff. And just like, I don't know where we put all this stuff to paint these walls, like especially our bedrooms. I don't have the slightest clue.
Right.
Because it's a small bedroom. So those have been sitting there for like 6 months going, I need to start those at some point. The bedroom's the only one I'm not really looking forward to.
So what's this one? So what's that? Let me take the brand down here. Hold on.
That's where I dug down. So that's 1/4 of the stump left with the big root coming out the bottom.
Right.
And that's one of many roots that I had to dig and cut out.
Wow.
So that's dug down about 30 inches ish.
Interesting.
And then the second one I sent you is just a close up of the side of that. And you can see what the texture of it looks like.
Okay. Let me bring up that one.
And then the other one is, but once again, scale. So this quarter piece is probably 6 inches by 8 or 10 at the top. And then the depth of it. But what does that wood look like to you?
Petrified wood.
Yeah, it does look like, does it not?
Yeah, of course.
And it took fucking hours to chainsaw through.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It looks like you gnawed it with your mouth.
Well, that top is after driving wedges through.
Yeah.
To split once I quartered into 4 and then split it out. And then once it got split out, then I dig deeper to get lower in the roots. And I take the chainsaw as low as I can get it into the roots and then pull out the big chunks.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that
there you go.
That's a total of like 12 hours, 14 hours to get that fucker out.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So I started on day 1. I was like, I should be able to bang out most of this today and then finish it tomorrow.
Right.
And after day 1, I was like, this thing is taking forever to cut. I didn't even finish the cross cut on the first day.
Oh, shit.
I got one done and then started on the second. And the chainsaw was just like, I'm out. All right, I got to get another chainsaw. And then the chainsaw I brought it home. It didn't work. So then I had to return that chainsaw.
Oh, fuck. That sucks.
And replace it. Yeah. With another one. And it worked just fine. But it's just like, this adds an hour of driving to the store and back again.
Yeah.
After I was just fucking there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that job ends this week. Gutters, garage, electrical. Next week is trying to delay the painting because I don't want to get to it and do other things. The week before that stump was putting in an AC.
This is the life.
Yeah, this is the life. So, although our place needs more work than your average home.
Oh, really?
Well, it's almost 100 years old.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just going to need more work overall.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got original copper wiring that we tore out, but it was just crazy seeing this stuff from 90 years ago.
Right.
And still technically fine. But it's just like, you know what? We're already doing this over here. Why don't we just go ahead and do all of it? It doesn't make sense to leave just this tiny little section of wire that's 90 years old.
That's true. Interesting. All right. Well, there you go. That is
that's my life. Hey.
Matt Damon handyman. I love it. I respect it. Homeowner, sorry. Matt Damon homeowner. Sorry. I meant to say homeowner.
It's all right. I'm growing the mullet out like the Duelist. It's gonna be fucking bitching. The fact that the mullet is back disturbs me.
Yeah, I know. I saw a bunch of people with mullets last night during the Dodgers playoff game, and I was just like, "What are people doing wearing mullets in LA? For fuck's sake!"
A couple. I know one dude has one. He pulls it off, but he's also had it for like the past 5 years.
Okay, so he's not on the trend.
No. but almost everyone, if you're not 17, it looks really strange.
Yeah.
That is a kid's haircut.
If you're not Patrick Swayze, it looks really strange. Let's tell the truth.
Well, that was a different time. I don't see the mullet getting to that level ever again.
Okay.
Do you?
Next? Trans Ams. What's next?
Well, I don't know. Does Michael Bay have a movie coming out right now? Because there's a crossover. The Trans Am is the second lead after Optimus or whoever it is.
IROC Z's Fieros.
Well, hell yeah. They said it in the 80s. Make the act like Bumblebee never happened. And good to go.
I like it. Anyway, so we're going to get into our top 10 acting runs here. This could be male or female. And we're going to break them down. I don't know. We might have some crossover. This could be a very interesting list for sure. But the one qualifier was that has to have at least been 5 years of good movies. It could be longer, but it has to be at least 5 years
and
to qualify.
This is the hardest list that I personally had to do in a long time.
2 days. It took me 2 days to do this list.
I have a top 15 and I stopped doing it because I counted it up and I there very well could be some people that I missed. And there's also quite a few, stars of yesteryear, so to speak, where I haven't seen enough in that run to give my honest opinion. Yeah. So I'm not excluding them because I don't think their run is worthy. It's just like, I can't give an opinion to that.
Right.
Right. Because there were numerous that I went back and I was like, what about so-and-so? And be like, I've seen this, haven't seen that, but I've seen this and this.
Yeah.
So it's like a 5-year run. There's, especially those times, like in the 50s where you're under contract.
Oh yeah.
You're just churning out movies and be like, dude, he did 5 that year. I've seen 1. The next year I've seen 2. That's not bad for an individual from that era for me. True. 3 in over 2 years, but I can't speak to these other, 6.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So a bunch of those, but I tried to, over the course of the 5 years, they almost exclusively have bangers.
Yeah. I tried to keep it more modern as well. I went back in the time, but I haven't, as many classics as I've seen, some of those other ones that are peppered in, because that was the time when you were doing like 10 movies a year.
Yeah.
Or 8 movies a year. So it's like, I can't get through those.
I tried. I really, legitimately, I went through so many different IMDb profiles, but every star of yesteryear, I looked at their IMDb and it was just like, I can't, even for the big guys, just like, I can't string together enough of a 5-year.
Yeah.
On this early stuff. But even with that excluded, my list is either 36 or 37 people.
Wow. That's a lot.
All have legitimate claim.
I
have, once again, I did my top 15 and then I just stopped because I was like, I could order out this full 36 and then I'd agonize, well, should they be 23 or is that more of like an 18? I reordered my top 10 list several times. I just bumped somebody off like a half hour before we started recording.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. And I was like, you know what? If I'm stacking these resumes in this run, I have more movies that I like of this other individual versus this. And it's like, they're now 11. One surprised me how high they made it. Not onto my list. They're on the 15. Right. They're at 12. And I was like, I can't believe they made 12.
To me, it was about like, if you only were doing 1 or 2 films a year and then you nailed at least one of them, you qualified.
Okay.
But if the breadth of your work as well was fast. So I would allow a few clunkers if the overall breadth of your work is incredible. So that made it kind of like a malleable thing as I was going along. Yeah.
Yeah. I extended a couple of people's windows because it's just like, yes, there are 2 movies right here, mediocre, but then right after that, 3 of these next 4 are great.
Yeah.
So it's just like, this is a 7-8 year run.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not dinging them for, they had 2-3 crap movies in that mix and be like, yeah, but look at the overall arc of how many of these productions either I love or I know the preponderance of individuals out there are big fans.
Yeah.
Even if I don't agree.
Yeah.
Although there's going to be one on your list. I'm guessing he's my number 12.
Okay.
He was originally my number 7, then went down to 8, and then I dropped him down. It's like, well, I'm going to pull this out there and put him up. And then he dropped down to 12 because I didn't reorder again. I was like, I'm done reordering. I've done it several times. This one was tough. San Fernando sent it in. And it's a great topic. thank you for it. And we'll get to his list at the end.
Absolutely. What a challenge. What
it
a
was
fucking
tough.
challenge. Yeah.
It was tough. And
No
it was
lie.
fun. So thank you for the homework assignment. And the way the show works is I do 3, he does 3, I do 2, he does 2. Then we both do 1 apiece. Once we're finished with our personal top 10s, we create the shows between the two of us.
Bang.
I'm just jumping in.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Because we're going to have a lot of discussions.
Yes, we are.
So a 7-year run
Okay.
at 10
Okay.
is Morgan Freeman from 1989 to 1995.
Wow. Okay. Go ahead.
You have Lean on Me,
Okay. Yes.
Driving Miss Daisy.
Yes.
But Oscar caliber.
He
Oscar
won the best
winners.
picture.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, I will give it up for that. That's why it makes it. Then
Okay.
Glory,
Right.
Robin Hood, which I am an unadulterated fan of. I realize it's got flaws. Don't give a
Prince
shit.
of Thieves. Yep. All right. Respect.
Unforgiven,
Oh, yeah.
Shawshank Redemption, 7. And if you really want to, you can throw Outbreak on the tail end of that. But that 3 trifecta of Unforgiven, Shawshank, and 7, on top of Lean on Me, on top of Glory, on top of Robin Hood, I was like, you know what?
That's good stuff.
It is excellent stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of deserving. And he made it at 10. I just left him and I moved other people in and out.
Wow. I didn't think about him because to me, I see him as, like an ensemble character, not necessarily a lead. So in my mind, I was trying to focus on people who are carrying these movies. But Morgan is a very strong second lead in all those films you mentioned. So, or lead, like he is in Lean on Me. So that's a great choice, man. Great choice. Didn't even think about it, but that's a hell of a run.
Yeah.
Especially for a guy later in life. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I mean, he was an adult the first time. It's like Wilford Brimley's always been 70 to me.
Yeah. Yes.
Even when he was like 42 or something, the first time he was on television, we really got to know him. Still looked like he was fucking 70 years old. Morgan Freeman has always been an adult. He's always been dad or grandpa.
Yeah.
But he has that authority type figure. And I looked at character actors, but the problem is they work so much.
Oh, yeah.
Like Stephen Root, love him. But
sure.
It's tough to find a 5-year run in there that you can plausibly defend.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I looked at was it James Hong and
Jim
like
Hong,
all these just random characters. Oh, I fucking love that guy.
Sure.
And then you go look at it and be like, yeah, I love it in 12, 15 movies, but he worked a bunch. And there's a whole bunch of 80s mediocrity that I've only seen once or I know is bad and I never saw.
Yeah.
No fault of his own.
There's
quite a few, but Morgan Freeman was like, man, if you really look at that 7-year run,
it's a great choice, man.
It's when you close out with those 3, when you go Unforgiven, into Shawshank, into 7, 3 movies that I personally think are some of my favorites, and I happily have watched countless times.
Yeah, yeah.
And you just throw in for shits and giggles, Lean on Me, Glory, Robin Hood.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm in on that 7-year run. So that's my 10.
Okay. What's your 9? Excuse me.
My number 9 is Robin Williams.
Ooh, nice choice. Go ahead. Robin Williams. I like it.
So technically you can do 87 all the way to 96 if you want to.
Okay. Okay.
Which includes Good Morning Vietnam.
Good stuff.
Dead Poets, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I know is beloved.
Yes.
Adventures of Baron Munchausen. I think it's fine, but I know people that are adamantly defend it to the death. Like, all right, to each their own. Awakenings, I love.
Yes, Awakenings is great.
Cadillac Man, I actually genuinely love.
Okay.
Fisher King.
Yes.
And then Hook, which is a defining movie of a lot of people 10 years younger than us as generation.
Okay. Yeah.
Aladdin after that, Fern Gully, Mrs. Doubtfire, Jumanji, The Birdcage, into Hamlet.
That's good stuff.
That is excellent stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's also now you're part of the fabric of 2 separate generations' childhoods by closing out with, Jumanji towards the end there.
Yeah.
And now we have Jumanji for another. And those kids will probably go back and rewatch the Robin Williams because there's another Jumanji.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. So it lives on. And
that's a good point. Jumanji and Hook closing out 2 generations of,
just Robin Williams. And he's a part of, my childhood.
Yeah.
It doesn't connect to Hook and doesn't connect, to Jumanji the same way that others do.
Yeah.
But over the course of all those years, I had him originally higher, and just looking at it, be like, it's also Baron Munchausen. I don't like.
Yeah, it's okay.
But I have a few friends that just love it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I know. It's like a lot of the Terry Gilliam stuff.
Yeah.
The defenders of it think it is the bee's knees.
Yeah.
But I don't understand the love for Brazil. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
It's a weird little film, dude.
But people hold it up, and it's just like, clearly it doesn't resonate for me the way it does for you. But I feel that way about like The Master. I've heard people be like, it's boring. There's no point. I don't care about anybody, and be like, man, I was enthralled. So cinema can hit you in different ways.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
But yeah, so he ends up at 9 because it's just like, there are a few in there that I have trouble defending.
Right. Totally.
When you look at the overall impact of how many people have been affected by this guy and the loss when he committed suicide, the ripple effect of that was pretty incredible.
No doubt.
So he ends up at my number 9.
Good choices, man. All right, what's your 8?
My number 8 is Christian Bale.
Ooh, really? Okay.
From 2005 to 2015.
Okay. Break it
Listen
down.
to this fucking murderer's row of movies.
Okay.
He supplanted my 12. And I was like, if I'm going fucking tit for tat. So it starts with Batman Begins.
Yes.
The Prestige.
Yes.
Rescue Dawn.
Okay.
3:10 to Yuma. Rescue Dawn is awesome. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
It's Werner
awesome.
Herzog. I should watch it. Okay.
3:10 to Yuma.
Yeah, good film.
The Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He gets asked to do a Terminator. That's pretty rarefied air. You're kind of good at getting tapped to replace Arnie. Do I like the movie? No, but still saying something.
Yeah.
Public Enemies.
Okay.
The Fighter.
Won
Dark
the
Knight
Oscar for that.
Rises. Yeah.
Okay.
Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
American Hustle. The Big Short.
It's good stuff. Okay.
That's a run.
That's a hell of a run.
That is a run.
And you're only 2 kind of is Dark Knight Rises, and which I like. I think
it's got flaws in Terminator Salvation.
I shouldn't
have written down, but I was like, I'm trying to put them all in the scope of.
No, but you could argue those are still 2 massive franchises to be a
Huge.
part of. So yeah, it's good.
And you look at that run, it's just like,
yeah.
Who I bump down, I have more problems on the overall list, but I can agree that if you love that movie, it was a huge movie.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I want to include Ford versus Ferrari, but it was just too many years in between.
Yeah, in between.
Mm-hmm. To get up to scale it up that large. And we're already talking about, from 11 years from 2005 to 2016. And I didn't omit, I can look it up, but I maybe omitted like 1 or 2 movies. That was pretty much his shooting schedule.
Yeah.
For the bulk of that time. Just like, look at that resume for that era.
Yeah.
It was impossible to go to the movies and not see Christian Bale in one of the most heralded or largest box office movies of that year. And I think a bunch of those will stand the test of time.
Yeah.
Personally, I think you got a good shot with Batman Begins, The Prestige, Dark Knight, possibly The Fighter, and The Big Short.
Yeah.
I think those are your. So it's pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
I feel like you're not appreciating the grandiosity of the scale.
Well, Bale's a difficult actor for me too. Like, I can appreciate Bale, but Bale's never moved me. Bale's never made me feel something in a theater, but I've certainly appreciated his work, like in Batman Begins, I like him as Batman and he does a good job with it. Dark Knight, he's not starred that movie. Heath Ledger is. What was it? 3:10 to Yuma, certainly, but it's Russell and Ben Foster I'm watching more than Christian. So it's that kind of thing. But in Ford versus Ferrari, he is stellar. In The Fighter, he is fucking stellar. So you know what I'm saying? So it's just like that kind of actor. So I certainly appreciate it for sure and appreciate his work and Prestige. He's great as well. But it's really, it's really Hugh and his mania in that whole movie that is.
But you need
what I'm watching, of course.
The eye of the hurricane, and all of these is what you're describing. It's
that's what he is. That's what he is.
Yeah, he still carries that presence,
except when he's except in The Fighter, and except in the other.
When he's
film.
the sinner.
Yeah, which is great.
I don't know, just
it's good stuff.
It's a hell of a run. You're either in movies that get nominated for Oscars, or you're in the biggest box office movie of the year every year.
It's true.
Those are the only two gears you have. I make $1 billion, or my movies get Oscars. That's it. That is crazy talk.
Yeah.
Because there are other guys that like, I'm a box office stud, and I left off quite a few box office studs.
Right.
It's like, but there's also a bunch of shit in there, or when you went for the Oscar stuff, it never works.
Yeah.
So to be unassailable in both those regards, I know what you mean. He's never chewing the scenery, or it's rare.
Yeah.
But do I think he could do something akin to a Day-Lewis? Yeah, I think he could.
Okay.
Because he has that same kind of quiet intensity that can boil over.
Yeah.
Plus, we've heard the tapes from set, so we know he's got anger issues.
How dare you? How dare you?
You're telling me you couldn't be, a Reginald Plainview, and it's about the adopted son's son.
When I say I'm an oil man, you'll agree. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
His American accent is so good. I think it was American Psycho when they did the rap party and he was speaking in his Welsh. The story is that the crew thought that he was working on his next part. And he's so method that he began. He's like, no, that's because he never deviates. When he's on set, he is that character.
Right.
So he only spoke with his American accent working on the movie. So when they heard him then, they're like, well, okay, what's the project coming up? That kind of commitment, because a lot of times I think that staying in character seems to be asinine.
Right. But for him, it's what works.
Yeah, but it makes sense. Like, okay, yeah, I see the results.
Right. If it works for you and you're actually getting results, then fuck what anyone else thinks, because they're not paying your bills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. So that's your 10, 9, and 8. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to start at number 10 for me, and that's Costner.
Okay. He's on my overall list. Okay. He did not make my top 15, but he's in the discussion.
All right.
I highlighted his name.
It's from, sorry. I moved here. Hold on. Where's my list? God damn it. It's from The Untouchables to, where did I put it? God damn it.
I said
from The Untouchables to The Bodyguard. So, and that's 5, because 87 to 92, that's 5. So you've got The Untouchables, No Way Out, Bull Durham, Field of Dreams. You could argue Revenge, the Tony Scott film. Dances with Wolves, though, 1990. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, like you said. JFK, The Bodyguard. You could even throw in A Perfect World, which is 93. So you could make it 87 to 93. And that's a damn good run. This is a damn good run. And look, after 93, you get White Up, which I personally like, but I know it's not everybody's favorite film. The War with Elijah Wood. Then you get Waterworld, which really is the beginning, possibly of the end. But then he bounces back with Tin Cup.
Yeah, so it's years later, though.
Yeah, it's 96. So it's not. It's just a couple or two or 3 years after the end of the run, in my opinion, where you can stop the conversation. But I mean, there's an Oscar-winning film in there that he directed in Dances with Wolves. Field of Dreams is a lot of people think is their favorite sports movie ever. No Way Out is an incredible film that people don't remember as much as they should, with Hackman and him. Untouchables is a quintessential Brian De Palma film. And then you get into JFK, which is essentially the crown jewel of Oliver Stone as a director. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, you said a lot of people like that movie still. And Bodyguard, which had the #1 selling soundtrack this side of Saturday Night Fever, I think, ever. And Whitney, it was the last time Whitney Houston, it was announced Whitney Houston, rather, as an actress, and it really worked. And then if you want to throw in Perfect World, great stuff with him and Clint Eastwood in a Clint Eastwood directed film. So,
I wrote down 85 to 93 because I was going back for Silverado.
Oh yeah. Oh, well, because I focused somewhere where he's the lead. You know.
Yeah, so, there's two. See, I didn't focus on it because we didn't say the lead.
No,
we just said acting.
It was my own personal. Yeah.
Who's doing what, where, in what movies is what I was. But Silverado is the first time I saw him.
Yeah.
But then there's like 2 movies in between.
Yeah.
That and No Way Out, or maybe 3 movies.
Right.
And it's just like, I think I'm stretching going back for Silverado.
That's why I didn't go back to Silverado.
I know.
Yeah.
Otherwise it'd be 87 to 93. I think that's a legit run. He's in the discussion. There's once again, I got 36 options here.
Yeah.
37.
I hear you.
But
yeah,
you've got some career defining and generational defining movies. I agree with you on Field of Dreams. And for those that don't say Field of Dreams, Bull Durham might be their favorite sports movie.
That's true. That's a fair point. Some people really like Bull Durham as well. Yeah. You're not wrong there.
And amazingly, there's never been another movie with Al Capone in it that I've liked. That Tom Hardy one is brutal.
Yeah, it is bad.
Nothing fucking happens.
Yeah, you're right about that.
It is terrible. Dancing with Wolves, I think, at the time I liked it. I don't anymore. But that's fine. It won an Oscar. He directed it.
Yeah. You were pitching me Morgan Freeman, and nobody likes Driving Miss Daisy anymore. So it's the same thing.
I agree. It's the same thing.
All right. So that was my 10. So then my 9 is Russell Crowe, which might be a punt.
Nope. That is a slight punt.
Okay. Slight punt. We'll see if we have the same years. And then my number 8, I didn't write all the movies down, but I wrote the time down. So I'm using IMDb as the guideline here. My number 8 is Eddie Murphy.
That is also a slight punt.
Ooh, okay. All right. What do you got at 7 then?
Oh, I'm glad we have some overlap. So 7 is the Russ Crowe.
Okay. So do you mind if I start since I was one?
What's your year range? We might.
Okay. So my year range is 97 to 2007.
But same, dude. That is 11 years.
Yeah.
Of stellar.
It is. You start with LA Confidential. There's 2 other movies called Heaven's Burning and Breaking Up. But Mystery Alaska, people defend Mystery Alaska, but the same year as The Insider, which is like the beginning of the prime Russell Crowe run.
Yeah.
Then you get Gladiator. Yep. Then you can ignore Proof of Life because then you get Beautiful Mind. Yep, a lot of people do. Master and Commander, Cinderella Man, which is incredible. 3:10 to Yuma, American Gangster. That's your 10 right there. That's your 10-year run right there. That's a pretty good fucking run.
Technically it's 11 years.
Yeah, 11. Yeah, sure. Fair point. Yeah.
11 years. And you're also like speaking to us on some level with Master and Commander.
Yes.
And 3:10 to Yuma. And potentially Cinderella Man, if some people could dismissed it outright because it's a sports movie. Yeah. I know. But I came around to it. And you just look at that list and you're like, dear God.
Yeah.
It's crazy that it's rare for me to see you now when you look at the scope of the movies that he's already done. It's like, this dude can do it all. Now I'm hoping the other guys, the Nice Guys is
the Nice Guys, yeah,
a trend of we're going to get more Russ Crowe back in our lives. I hope so, but that was also 2-3 years ago at this point.
Yeah,
and I can't think of anything as of late, but it's also been a weird 18 months.
Well, they tried with The Mummy there that was going to launch this whole thing. He was going to play Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah, but it didn't take off. Boy Erased didn't do well. But then he did play Roger Ailes in The Loudest Voice, that miniseries.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, he won the Emmy for that, I believe.
Yeah, he was good.
But now we're back to Unhinged, which was really fucking terrible. So
is that the one with just him pissed off in the car?
Yes.
That's all I know about it. Ugh. Just road rage for a movie. This is a paper thin premise. So best case scenario in this day and age to me is Crawl.
Oh yeah.
A paper thin, but they manage the dynamic between Barry Pepper and his daughter is awesome.
Yes. Crawl,
so it makes the movie.
Kaya Scodelario,
Yeah. Otherwise, this is a Steven Seagal fucking level premise. Russell, you're better than that.
Yeah, it was. I was so surprised. But no, he's got like 6 films that he's shooting or in the works right now, including Thor: Love and Thunder, where he's playing Zeus. So that'll be curious to see.
That cast is getting super interesting.
That cast is out of control, dude. But yeah, that's a great run. So as you said, almost essentially 11 years. So, so he's my number 9, and you're 7. So yeah,
it's just crazy.
It is. You're right.
Be around. And then there's still stuff around the edges of that. Man of
Mhm.
Steel is a couple of
Mhm.
years after this run.
Right.
But there's too much in between to
Yes.
pull in. It's
Agreed.
kind of like you ever play Rummy?
Yeah.
And so you can take from the cards exposed but the bottom card you got to play.
Right.
And you're looking at it and looking at your hand. And sometimes there's enough to go in and pick up 12 cards, 15 cards.
Exactly.
And there are other times when you're like, yeah, there's Man of Steel down there, but there's a whole lot of bullshit that I've got to now sit in my hand. And they have 2 cards left. I'm about to go out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is this enough to actually do this right now? It's probably not.
Chance?
Yeah. Or should I stop while I'm ahead and I'm laying out? I've got, quad aces over here.
Yeah.
Plus, king through 10. And then I got 3 5s and whatever. I got a nice laid out in front of me. I'm crushing. I don't need to go for these and cut into my already massive lead. Anyway.
All right. So what's your 6?
My 6 is Eddie Murphy.
Oh, okay. So what is your run for Eddie?
82 to 88.
Okay. I think that's right. You're right. To Coming to
America closes.
Is that 89? I think that's 89, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
I
wrote it down I could have gotten it wrong off IMDb, but
I'm looking at right now.
What do you got?
Sorry. 89. Yeah, 88 is Coming to America. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the run. That's the fucking run. 48 Hours, Trading Places, Beverly Hills Cop,
Golden Child. Don't you fucking leave it out.
Fuck Golden Child.
Beverly Hills Cop, Coming to America.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the run. That's
interspersed in there are Delirious and
Yes, and Raw, and also My Girl Likes to Party All the Time. He also had a number one hit.
He had
song.
number one hit.
So
now, is say the opening 7 to 10 minutes of Delirious very problematic in today's day and age?
Apologized for it. So.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change the fact that when I was a kid,
and
still for the longest time,
I
still love quite a bit of that special. I do cringe at the opening now.
Sure.
Because he just so casually uses it.
Yeah.
Which you don't think about.
You don't remember how casually people use it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just because at the time I didn't know any gay people.
Right.
And you didn't understand the sting of what that could entail.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So anyway, but over the course of that, I believe that's his full run. Is there another movie in there? There might be one.
What, another movie
in that run?
Best Defense, which is that terrible Dudley Moore one. That's the
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's horrible. And they don't even share the screen in the whole movie. That's what's crazy about the movie is you cast 2. You would argue one guy who's on the tail end of being a comedic star and one who's completely on the rise. And it just
supernova.
Yeah, supernova. Yeah, fair.
Unlike, I don't think the comedy world had ever seen in regards to movie and pop culture. I mean, he went from
because Richard's movies were never like this. Richard was in movies, but he was never like this. So,
and he wasn't. I think Eddie probably had broader appeal across all spectrum.
Agreed.
Thanks to SNL.
Right.
Just he's in more homes in one season. He's out and he becomes a massive movie star.
Yep.
It's just Eddie Murphy was a lot of my childhood and signifies quite a bit of the 80s to me.
Yeah. It's amazing how they don't. I mean, like you can watch Norbit, and Norbit is just a fucking entire litany of shit you can't do now. And that's 2007. He does the Asian like stereotype voice with one.
Does
of the
he?
characters.
I've seen
terrible. And
I've seen bits and pieces because the fucking trailer was so god awful. You're like,
Yeah.
God damn it, Eddie, get out of these fat suits.
Yeah, and the fat suit thing, that's like vilifying women of weight. There's a lot of weight jokes at her expense, so fat shaming all through the thing. So, it's at the time there were some moments in the movie that I thought were funny, but now when you look back, you're like, oh my god, yeah, we can't even do that nowadays. And you understand, but I think there's a like people sense that there's a good heart in Eddie's performances and Eddie as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why he doesn't get canceled. I think that's why they don't come after him in the way they came when they came after him for the LGBTQ stuff, for using that F word. He totally apologized. He didn't defend it or fight back, or like Chappelle just did a whole special about it. He did his own thing. And So and he apologized. And I think that helps a long way to people just letting it go, because we're all like waking up to some of the stuff from the past that we kind of ignored or let go or didn't think about. And people are making us more aware of it. And we're getting the chance to kind of reevaluate that. So that's not a bad thing.
No, not at all. And
so, yeah.
I think that's all you can do is be like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry.
I mean it genuinely. I am sorry. And
I didn't know.
Yeah, people are allowed to grow and change. And
I hope so.
Yeah, hopefully he's honest about that.
Yeah.
And
I feel like he is. Watching him.
So do I. I don't feel it's disingenuous in the slightest.
Yeah. He's a dad.
But anyway. But
okay.
I mean, Eddie in that run is, I mean, it's just ridiculous. He's what, 20 years old?
Yeah.
48 hours?
Yeah.
We're never going to see 21 or 22.
We're never going to see this run again from
not like this. Not from
like
a
this.
Kid of he was in high school 2 years ago
right.
to now he is known internationally, and we all agree is hilarious.
He was so confident in those movies past his age. Like, he radiates a guy in his late 20s, early 30s in those movies, just not look wise, just the energy. And so it's surprising when you find out he was fucking 21. It's like watching Greg Oden and they tell you he's 17. You're like, there's no fucking way that is 17.
Yeah, but Oden was so sheepish. Like, he's one of those tall dudes who's really quiet because he's always stuck out and he didn't like that kind of attention.
Yeah.
Whereas Eddie
loved the attention.
I mean, I want to know, in high school, did people know? Could you tell? Or was he still a young kid kind of figuring out like we all were?
Well, his mom said they were taking him to do stand-ups at 14, 15 years old in the city. So it's like Gaga. Gaga's mom was driving her in to perform at 16, 17 years old in those clubs. So like sometimes people say, and you wouldn't get booked, Matt, and you know this as being in the stand-up world, you would not get booked as consistently as he was if he didn't have the goods or some potential of the goods. Yeah. At that time, you think?
I've seen the Kid novelty act quite a few times.
I'm sure, but
so you have them around, they do well enough, and you're like, this kid is 12. This is amazing. But whether or not they stick with it,
right?
I don't know that I've ever really seen it succeed. But at the same time, I've never seen a kid who's Eddie Murphy.
Right.
He had a good story on comedians. In cars talking about doing a show out in the middle of nowhere, and he was supposed to get paid and bombed so hard the guy was like, in essence, I'm not fucking paying you. And his dad had to drive and go and pick him up. And then on the drive home, oh, you think you're some sort of comedian, huh? You're supposed to get money for bus fare, and I'm picking your ass up.
A little humility is good in the business, man.
Yeah. I've had those where you're just like, Mom, you're supposed to pay me now? Like, that didn't go well. I remember once I got paid, I specifically asked because I knew it was going to be bad. It was a private gig.
Mm-hmm.
And I just knew going into it, it's like, this is a recipe for disaster.
Right.
So you're going to pay me beforehand.
Oh, wow.
And the woman agreed to it because it's like I was there to roast a guy on his birthday.
Oof.
And she sent me a bunch of stuff to roast him on. I was like, sure, no problem. And it was at breakfast, mind you.
Oh my God.
They were having a brunch. So he's an older guy, like late 30s, early 40s, but he graduated college. He would put himself through school.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, I want you to come roast him. It's going to be all his friends. Don't worry. There's not going to be any family there. And I show up and there's a table of kids sitting right in front of where I'm supposed to be. And then a table of old people right next to them. And then all their friends, him and all his friends sitting on a dais.
Oh my God.
Type of thing. And it's 11 in the morning.
Oh my God.
I walked in and I was like, all right, you need to pay me beforehand. And it was awful.
Yeah.
It was awful. And I was like, all right, well, after my 15 minutes, man, I was like, I'm out. But had I not gotten paid in advance, there's a chance that she wouldn't have paid me. And I wouldn't have faulted her, but I knew this is not going to go well. I only saved it because I got the old people to laugh with me about how dumb kids are. The kids were like so young that they didn't really notice.
Right.
So the old people kind of chuckled at it, but it went away from the first 3-4 things that I was roasting him about. He had rebuttals for.
What?
Well, because like I was like, dude, it took you 12 years to finish college or 10 years. It's like, man, what the fuck? And I had like a whole list of jokes. And he was like, well, I've been working 2 jobs and I had a kid and my wife wasn't working, and I was like, I stopped and I looked at his wife, and then I was like, all right, fair enough. And then I went to the next thing, and he had a rebuttal to that, and I turned to her and I was like, what did you send me? I'm supposed to be roasting him, and he has everything you sent me are legitimate things. And that got a little bit of a chuckle, and then I went and tried to do an act, and just crickets, man. It was fucking so painful. Yeah. There's nothing like dying at a private or a corporate. There is nothing like. Anyway.
Yeah, that's rough, dude. Sorry.
Oh, I've done way worse.
Oh, I'm sure.
Shitty bar gigs where they stop the music and stuff, and it's like, all right, here's a comedy show. They hate you. They fucking hate you to no end. Or if they have, you got to turn TVs off. But if they don't turn TVs off, and you're just talking to the people's backs.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm getting free beer to be here tonight, so
I was watching
the free beer.
I was watching my friend had a wedding recently. He did it on Facebook because not everyone could be there, so he put it Facebook Live. So we did we set up the camera, and I was watching because I was like I didn't know I wasn't gonna be able to make it up to LA for it, so I was like, I'll watch it on Facebook Live, like if I'm doing stuff. So I had it on the background, and then the guy comes out to sing songs. The guy they hired to do the music. And the camera is placed where you can see everybody talking. Nobody is paying attention to this guy. And he is doing some incredible work. And I'm just watching all these people like fucking shoot the shit and eat their foods and whatever. And I'm like, you guys are so fucking disrespectful to what this. And then they would applaud after he was done, as if like,
they enjoyed it.
We should do that. And I was like,
yeah.
Fuck?
I know what you mean, but that's part of a musician's gig. Look at it. Like, you ever been to Nashville?
No, I've never been to Nashville.
Okay, so basically there are bands. It's kind of like when you go to Vegas and there's slot machines everywhere.
Yeah.
In Nashville, there are bands everywhere. So you just get used to live bands playing. Like I was born in Nashville. My family lives in Nashville, so I visit there quite a bit. So I've been in numerous situations where like, why do they have a band here? This doesn't exist in any other city that I've been to. But it's like, oh, there's a band in this airport lounge and they have a live band, and after this one ends there's another live band, and you're like, it's a fucking airport lounge. Like I can understand in the 70s because they they're still kind of new and whatever, but at least that's part of the game. You don't need them to interact with you in order for this to be counted as a win for the people paying for it. Whereas music, it's just like you can play in the background and people will be happy with your job.
I guess I just think it's disrespectful.
I agree. Well, if you're supposed to stop, but if you're eating and then all of a sudden somebody starts playing, well, they knew when they walked up there.
Right. That's different, right?
Because they know it's not like they started playing and then they went, all right, the buffet is open. And then everybody just left and got the buffet and we're just eating now. That's a horse of a different fucking color.
Yeah, like the piano thing. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But if they introduce you, I think that's always a
you're not wrong. I just think they should have a tougher skin if they got offended by that.
That's true.
That's part of music gigs that I've seen in a situation like this.
You're right about that. All right, let's swing back to the list here. We're up to my number 7, or we did your 6, right? Okay, so my number 7 is Harrison Ford. Is that a punt?
Another slight punt.
Okay, fair
All
enough.
right, interesting.
Then my number 6 is Tom Cruise.
That is the one that I took off.
You're a son of a bitch for doing that. I'm going to run you through these movies.
All right, what years are you talking?
1986 to 2004.
Whoa, I stopped at 96. Let me pull up his IMDb.
18-year run. All right.
I think there's enough fluff in between where you're giving a tremendous amount of credit. All right, I'm looking.
All right, I'm going to run through these movies, and then you can counterpoint as you see. Don't start counterpointing before I run through the movies like you like to do. All right, we're going to start Top Gun, Color of Money, which won Paul Newman an Oscar. Cocktail, which is a favorite of a lot of Tom Cruise fans. Sure. Rain Man, Dustin Hoffman won the Oscar. Born on the 4th of July, Oliver Stone nominated. Days of Thunder, he meets Nicole Kidman. Yeah, they do Far and Away. He's not that good. Few Good Men. What an incredible film. Rob Reiner with Jack Nicholson, Demi Moore. Mm-hmm. Then The Firm, which you could argue is the best John Grisham adaptation. Interview with the Vampire. Nobody thought he was going to be any good in that movie, and he actually stole the movie from Brad Pitt.
Sure.
Completely. Mission Impossible, starting that franchise off that is still going to this day.
Sure.
Jerry Maguire, incredible job there. Got nominated for Best Actor in a Cameron Crowe film. That doesn't happen. Eyes Wide Shut, working with Stanley Kubrick for the last time, but also featuring a great performance from Nicole Kidman in that movie. Magnolia, he got nominated for Best Supporting Actor in Magnolia. Yeah, ignore MI2. But then Minority Report comes in 2000.
You just glossed over Vanilla Sky.
Vanilla Sky, but which I like. I like Vanilla Sky. I know a lot of people don't. Vanilla Sky, Minority Report, Last Samurai, Collateral. That's where
you're not wrong. Then you get into War of the Worlds. A lot of people love Mission
you could go
Impossible
to War,
3.
Yeah, you could go to War of the Worlds. And I'd even give you Mission Impossible 3, which I love, in 2006. So that to me is the run. 86 to 2004, 2005, 2006. But that's a hell of a run with only a couple of or 2 or 3 clunkers in there, like legitimate clunkers in there. Mission Impossible 2 being one of them. What else?
This was my problem. And you're not wrong.
Eyes Wide Shut, maybe. And Far and Away. So those are the 3 clunkers overall I would see there at all. So go ahead. Yeah. What's your problem? Good.
What's your problem?
I'm sorry. What's your counter? Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Look, I agree with you. So I wrote it down. He was the one that I struggled with the absolute most.
Okay.
I agree with you on Top Gun.
Plus, he's a superstar, a movie star.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Cocktail was massive. People may not go back and watch it now, but at the time, it was massive.
Good soundtrack.
I don't know if I need to see it again, but I've seen it. Rain Man. Yes. Born on the 4th of July, I hate, but it was in the Oscar discussion. Days of Thunder, huge fan.
Yeah, love Days of Thunder. Rubbing. If you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing.
Dude, you ain't racing. All right? Plus some of the best names.
Yes. Cole Trickle.
Cole Trickle. So that is the perfect NASCAR name without being offensive.
Yeah. What was the other guy? Rusty something? Yeah, it's perfect NASCAR name.
It is right on the line of, are you belittling us?
Yeah.
No. That is direct homage. Far and Away, whatever. I'm not going to ding you for it. Fine.
Yeah.
A Few Good Men, I agree. The Firm is fine.
Yeah.
It's good. Saying it's the best John Grisham is saying it's the tallest midget.
Oh, Jesus.
The tallest little person. But the phrase when I was younger was that.
Yeah.
Sorry. After we just talked about, advancing our opinions, and then I just go and be fucking brutal. Interview with the Vampire, I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible, if you must, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Maguire, I don't like anymore.
I love Jerry Maguire.
Eyes Wide Shut, I don't like. Magnolia is the only Paul Thomas Anderson that I don't think is a 10 out of 10.
Wow. Okay.
Well, Inherent Vice.
Yeah, Inherent Vice is a piece of shit.
I probably like it better than Magnolia at this point.
Okay.
Mission Impossible 2, no. So that you hit this run of Mission Impossible, Jerry, but that's where it cut off, and I was like, I don't care for any of those. So then I wanted to restart it at Minority Report and be like, Minority Report, but Goldmember I haven't seen. Last Samurai was on with Collateral. Yeah. I'll give you War of the Worlds. If you want to say Mission Impossible 3 and then we're like Lions for Lambs, no. Tropic Thunder I wasn't a big fan of, but I know I'm in the minority.
You are.
Valkyrie I liked. Night and Day, no.
No.
Ghost Protocol, okay. It's just like it. Then it starts doing this rockier. Like it starts as another fucking rocket.
Yeah.
I know. I struggled. I went back and forth. He was like 6 and then 8 and then 7 and then 12. And the 12 was just because I cut and pasted and put Christian Bale in, because if I look at Christian Bale's, I can't do that with any of those outside of maybe Terminator Salvation.
Right.
Dark Knight Rises, I'm not a huge fan of, but I still enjoy it. And I think Tom Hardy's character is so super interesting that I'll go back for that.
Yeah.
That's my piece.
Okay.
It's a valid choice in my opinion.
I mean, you could argue it's a 20-year run, 86 to 2006. You could argue it's a 20-year run with only 3 or 4 clunkers. That's pretty fucking incredible, especially if you're a movie star, not an actor, right? And I don't mean he's not an actor. He's an actor, but I mean like he's a movie star. So the pressure on him to pick the right projects, to connect with the audience. Yeah, it's a lot. And he was able to do it for 20 years. And yes, it's been kind of every once in a while since 2006, but it's a hell of a fucking run, man. So
I agree.
The only reason I don't put it higher is because the films in that 20-year run are not all like Oscar nominated films or epic films that you're going to look back on that change cinema. That's the reason why he's in the bottom 5 for me right now. So
yeah, part of the motivation why I dinged him off too. There's quite a few on there. It's just like, I don't mind if their resume has a couple in there that I can acknowledge that everybody else likes that I don't.
Right.
But when there's 40% of those options, I have to put on there out of respect, even though I don't agree with the opinion.
Right.
It's like, and it feels weird to say that about Tom Cruise. Because he's Tom fucking Cruise.
It's Tom fucking Cruise.
He is.
All right. Well, before we jump into our top fives, Matt, we should take a quick break and hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back, starting off with Matt's top five. All right, we're back. Matt Nost, number 5. What do you got?
5 is the punt from earlier. Again, Harrison Ford.
Okay. All right. Do you want to take it this time? What do you got? What's your run?
It's 80 to 85.
Oh, wow. Okay. Mine was 81 to 89, but all right, let's do it. What do you got?
Let me pull up. Well, if you go 80, you get Empire. So why would you cut off before Empire?
Oh, that's a good point. All right. 80 to 89 then.
But now
again, I didn't see, he's not the lead of the movie. That's in my mind, but yeah, I hear you. 80 makes sense. 80 makes sense.
You're excluding Empire? Why?
No,
you want to cut off where?
80 is good. 80 to 89. That's good.
To 89. That's what I meant. So you're going all the way. All right. So the problem is we get into Mosquito Coast Frantic, Working Girl, and
Working Girl is beloved by a number of people.
How many is that number? That's a misleading statement.
A lot of ladies love Working Girl. Like a lot of women from the 80s, a lot of women who go back and watch those movies, they love Working Girl. I'm telling you.
I will take your word for it.
I mean, Mosquito Coast is the one you could have a problem with, but Frantic as a Roman Polanski film, that's a goddamn good movie. People don't remember how good that movie is. He's good in that movie.
Okay. Well, that only then bolsters my argument if you're going all the way to 89, because I love Last Crusade.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to 89. You stopped at 86, right?
I stopped at 86 just because that run right there is, dude, Empire, Raiders, Blade Runner, Jedi, Temple of Doom, Witness.
See, but I would take Temple of Doom out of that run. That film is terrible. It drives me nuts how bad that film is. So I will exchange Temple of Doom with
Working Girl?
Coast? With Mosquito Coast. I would exchange that with you.
Oh, it's not even close to me. Are you kidding me?
Please.
Mosquito Coast is fine,
but
it's not Temple of Doom. It's not
better than
Banana Times here. It's
Temple
not.
of Doom is ridiculously terrible.
So in your world, then Working Girl is much better than Temple of Doom. That's just not the case, and
that's true. I would argue that absolutely.
That is not the case, and you know it.
A lot more of an effect than Temple.
So you're telling me with $400 million, you're going to have this discussion and
keep
a straight face?
You might as well just say Venom is a great fucking movie. Then it made $851 million.
No. I'm saying with your money, when you win the Super Lotto,
$400 million. Yes,
you're going to be able to sit here and be like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. And it's fine. Temple of Doom is better.
No way.
I'm right.
I fucking hate Temple. I never go back to watch that movie. The movie is shit. It's one of those racist films you're ever going to fucking watch. With that accent from Short Round, with them only showing the Indian culture as some kind of crazy thing that you can pull hearts out of, with the white savior complex going into that Indian town. He's the only one that can get the stones. It's ridiculous in retrospect. Temple of Doom. Crusade,
let's make movies great again.
And Raiders of the Lost Ark are so incredible.
Let's make movies great again. I don't understand what your qualms with this are. Yes, speaking my language.
But I mean, Mosquito Coast has its moments. It's not the greatest Peter Weir film, but it's certainly an interesting film to watch with him and River Phoenix.
It has its moments.
More moments than fucking Temple of Doom, that's for sure.
Not even close. Not even close.
That's fine.
At least for me, I have watched Temple of Doom a lot of times, whereas Mosquito Coast, I know I've seen twice. And I think I'm good at twice.
Once we get past that opening, I can't watch Temple of Doom. That opening with the snow and the boat, the little inflatable boat or whatever ship or whatever, it's all cool. And then boom, it becomes real bad.
That's fine. I can't even get past when it comes up streaming on the title card for Mosquito Coast. Do you want to watch this? No. Pass. There's got to be something better else out there. But I mean, if you want to extend, all the way to 89, that is in a flat out amazing run of movies. He has 2 franchises that have a good chance of standing up for quite a long time, which is amazing. And the fact that he is utterly dismissive of one, it makes it all the better on some level. I think it's because Indy feels like more his and Star Wars is not.
Right.
But also, Indy doesn't get when your bullwhip appears to be made out of oxhide, but traditionally that with like they do with I can't imagine the esoteric Star Wars questions he's gotten over the years.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, that's one of my favorite ones is when Frosty asks him who shoots first. He goes, "I don't care. I don't care who shot first."
Yeah, I don't care.
Brilliant.
Or when someone asks him about Force Ghosts, I don't know what that fucking is.
Yeah, I don't know
like,
what that fucking
yeah.
is.
Why did you? Unless you wanted him to say that, and then it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. All right. Are we up to my 5 then?
Yeah.
My 5 is Meryl Streep.
Another slight punt.
Oh, interesting. Okay. What's your 4?
Well, I think she's got 2 runs, technically.
You could argue. What's your 4?
My 4 is Jim Carrey.
Yeah, and I didn't even make my list.
Dude, 94 to 2004. 11 years.
Hold on. Are we going to talk about clunkers? All right, let's have some fun.
The Mask.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb and Dumber.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like Ace Ventura or Ace Ventura 2.
No, it's crap.
Fine. You're wrong, but that's fine. Batman Forever.
It's crap.
You know, given the state of Batman at that time, I'm perfectly happy with that movie.
At the time, not now.
The Cable Guy, I still like it for what it is.
I defend Cable Guy. I will.
Cable Guy, Liar Liar,
it's
The
good.
Truman Show, Man on the Moon, Grinch if you want to count it. I don't.
Okay.
Me, Myself, and Irene. Majestic is schmaltzy, but I kind of like it.
Me too.
Bruce Almighty, Eternal Sunshine, Lemony Snicket.
I can't put Lemony Snicket in, but it's still the same year as
awesome.
Eternal Sunshine. So, but I'll okay.
I mean, are you kidding me with that run?
It's not a bad run.
That's 11 years, and there's I think only one movie in there that I didn't include, which is Simon Birch.
Okay.
Otherwise,
and he isn't even a big part of Simon Birch.
Yeah. I did include it.
Yeah.
That's every movie that he did.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going, oh, well, here's an 18 months to patch where these
Right.
things came out and they're not as good. So
Right.
everything he touched, I am either a huge fan of or I genuinely like.
Yeah.
Grinch is the only one where I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
The makeup really freaks me out. But when I look at this overall, like, you know, I am a big fan of numerous of these. A huge fan of Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura. I think When Nature Calls is probably my favorite of the two, to be honest.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Man on the Moon I like a lot. Me, Myself, and Irene.
I like Me, Myself, and Irene. God.
Eternal Sunshine and Lemony Snicket. I think those are all fantastic for me.
Oh God.
And Dumb and Dumber is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I know it is.
It's awesome. And when you look at that, that's what could easily be the crest of most people's waves in this business.
You could argue that this is a Beatles run, Matt. Like, where are you starting at? The Mask, 94?
Start The Mask. That's what announced them.
Ventura?
Yeah, The Mask is where I started.
Okay, so Mask, Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber. So this is like Mask, Ace Ventura, Dumb. That's the Beatles' early records. Then as the thing, you see him grow in confidence and trying new things. And then the tail end of the run is the Oscar talk, Eternal Sunshine, The Majestic,
yeah,
and Truman Show. And those are you could argue that's the latter albums of the Beatles. Like this is a very interesting run here for Jim Carrey. The change from talking out of his ass guy to people wanting him to be nominated for an Oscar for Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's a hell of a change over 10 years, just like the Beatles music changed over 10 years from 60 to 69.
Yeah. The growth and maturity from the individual.
Yeah. Yeah. And the willingness to grow and mature and embrace different influential things in your life. Okay. All right, dude. That's a great choice.
It's 11 years.
Yeah. No. It's a good choice. I'm still comfortable with what I have on my list, but that's a goddamn good choice. I didn't even think about it. I mean, I thought I was like 2 or 3 years, but looking at it now in full scope, it's a lot.
There's a lot there.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Even if you don't like them, it's just like, fine, I'm passing on this. Well, the next one's got you, and the next one after that, and maybe you don't like the one after that, but the next 3 got you.
And you can argue as a comedian, it is hard to sustain.
Yes,
even
for that long.
Yeah, for that long, and after a couple of maybe possible missteps, certainly I felt that way.
Well, he could have been
like When Nature Calls.
Will Ferrell, what outfit wig am I putting on? And I'm not knocking Will Ferrell because I still enjoy, but he could have been talking out of the ass guy and just did over the top physical chewing the scenery of everything he's in.
Yeah, right. He can
the
become
best is
Sandler. Yeah.
how much Tommy Lee Jones hated him on the set.
Oh my God. I watched a
Hated
recent Norm Macdonald clip.
Oh, sure. I remember that
Have
one.
you seen where he's interviewing him about it? Jim talks about it. Now he confronted him at the restaurant and shit.
I fucking hate you. It's just brutal. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen that one. Was that before? It was before they started filming, wasn't it? Or was it in the middle of filming?
Before they started filming.
Before, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it wasn't after they finished because that's why it sticks out even more.
Yeah.
But I couldn't remember if it was before or during.
Crotchety old man from the beginning. He said,
well, him being Grumpy Cat at the Golden Globes?
Yeah.
That's the perfect encapsulation of Tommy Lee Jones. At least as far as what we know.
Yeah. Okay, so that was your 4?
That was my 4.
Okay, so my 4 is Denzel.
It was a tough cut.
Wow.
He's in my top 15, but he didn't make my top 10.
All right, I'm going to run you through Denzel.
I got you.
1989 to 2001 is the run. 12 years. Glory, Mo Better Blues, Malcolm X, Much Ado About Nothing, Philadelphia, Crimson Tide, Courage Under Fire, He Got Game, The Hurricane, Remember the Titans, and Training Day.
I only wrote down till, what was it, 95? So I need to go and look and see why. Once again, going through so many of these. So yeah, I didn't include You got Virtuosity, Devil in a Blue Dress, Courage Under Fire. I think it's okay, whatever.
It's a good film.
It's good. Preacher's Wife, Fallen I actually like, but I think I might be in the minority. But it just there was 3, 4 right there. I'm like, so
The Siege is good. There. The Bone Collector is good. I could throw out Preacher's Wife, but Siege Devil in a Blue Dress is fucking good.
Never.
Virtuosity
really
I could throw out.
Of those you just threw out, Virtuosity would probably be the one I save.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not a good movie, but I
not
weirdly enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you why.
Yeah. That's my run with Denzel. It's a good run.
Bone Collector, Siege, meh. He Got Game I like. Hurricane, sure. Remember the Titans. Training Day, I think, is overrated.
Oh my God.
John Q, Antoine Fisher, Out of Fire. Like then there's another. That's 3 years.
That's why I don't go past 2001. Yeah.
Man of Fire. It starts to tumble there. So in my list, the front half of that is like, God, yeah, he's in my top 15. But this list was really hard.
I know it was hard, and it's all a matter of our tastes. Like certain films you will include and say it's okay, and I think they're terrible, or I include certain films and you think they're terrible. So this is why we do these lists. But I would argue here, when you're looking at Glory, he won the Oscar for. Coming in with Ricochet, that's a lot of people love Ricochet. Yeah, him and John. I like him. John Lithgow as a villain in that film more than I like him as a villain in Cliffhanger. Malcolm X is another one, the Oscar nominated. Much Ado About. I mean, Denzel Washington, a Shakespeare play, film. Who fucking saw that?
He's great.
Pale and Brief, another good Grisham adaptation. Philadelphia, Tom Hanks wins the Oscar there. Crimson Tide, toe to toe with Gene Hackman, at the height of Gene Hackman being that guy in the 90s. Devil in a Blue Dress, which is him and Don Cheadle. Courage Under Fire, which I think Damon or Meg Ryan was nominated for, possibly. Preacher's Wife is Forrest Whitaker's first attempt, I think, as a director. Fallen with him and Goodman, and then He Got Game with Spike. So, and Siege, and then Titans and Training Day, which he finally won the Oscar for. So, I don't know, just throwing it out there. I like that run.
I think if you eventually get to where you're ending it at Training Day,
yeah,
I think it's kind of unassailable. But that 2 year stint, 2 to 3 year stint in the middle there, where I'm just like, I'm not a fan. Or
what 2 year stint? Oh, you mean Preacher's Wife to The Siege, maybe?
I would say Virtuosity didn't count because I feel like I'm in the minority. Then we go Devil in the Blue Dress. Courage Under Fire is a good movie, but I don't know. Preacher's Wife, although I do like Fallen, I think I'm in the minority. I don't know. It just started to tail off, and I'm like,
But remember, Fallen, He Got Game, and Siege are all in the same year. That's 98. Bone Collector's 99. But the Hurricane's in 99, so 99 gets saved.
Yeah, the 99 gets added in. You might not be wrong.
I'm just saying.
Maybe I should bump it up. I don't know. I got to that string and I was like, I'm out. And then I couldn't restart it at that point.
All right. What's your 3?
My 3 is once again the punt, Meryl Streep.
Oh, Meryl Streep. All right.
Because you get 2 runs out of her, in my opinion.
Okay. Which is the run you chose?
Well, I chose them both. That's what I'm
like, okay.
Acting runs. Well, then I'd kind of looked at it as the actor type of thing. And it's like, it's the body of work. And I guess I didn't look at the list as it's defined.
Okay.
So I said 78 to 83 and then 2002 to 2009.
Yeah, that's what I have. 2002 to 2009. Which
that in and of itself.
That's the one. To me, that's the better run, in my opinion.
Sure. Of the 2?
Yes.
Because in the others, the other, you got Deer Hunter, Kramer versus Kramer, Sophie's Choice, Silkwood. But Deer Hunter, the part is so tiny, I don't even know if it should count.
Right.
Whereas with the other run, you got Adaptation, The Hours, Manchurian Candidate, Lemony Snicket. I know you're not a fan. I am. Devil Wears Prada, Doubt, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Julia.
Yeah.
Julia.
Well, yeah, you get Julia and Julia is where you can even go to Fantastic Mr. Fox, and it's complicated. That's where I went all the way out there it's complicated.
I've got Fantastic Mr. Fox, and then Julia comes after, does it not?
Well, they're all in 2009, all 3 of them. It's complicated, okay. Fantastic Mr. Fox and Julia. The one weird one is Lions for Lambs, which is not that good of a movie.
No,
but Rendition, I think people don't give that film more credit than it deserves. Like, I think is a good film about what was going on with some of these things that were going on with the Patriot Act. The Ant Bully, she's great in The Ant Bully. Devil Wears Prada. Prairie Home Companion, a film that should not fucking work, actually works. And then what? The Series of Unfortunate Events. You like that one? I don't, but I like her in Manchurian Candidate. And you could even throw in Angels in America, which was that HBO miniseries.
So good. I wanted to.
Yeah.
Because it's so good.
Yeah. The Hours adaptation. Yeah. Those are the ones. That's the run for me, 2002 to 2009. The other one is good, though. I mean, I'm not going to,
it's just so short.
Fault that other one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which, if you want to say, you got to pick a run, like my next individual has 2 runs, in my opinion. And I was like, this is ridiculous.
Right. And her run, you could argue, is less movies in that short amount of time. And she averages more movies in the longer run. So she should have more opportunities to fail and doesn't. So that's what I feel like. That other run gets a little more credit in my mind.
That's fine with me. Okay. If you want to say we got to choose runs, I'll take the 2002 to 2009. That's fine.
Okay.
I mean,
we don't have to.
Quantitatively, there's so many more to choose from.
Right. All right. So that was the 3. That was my punt from the 5, right? Meryl Streep. All right. So then my 3 is Pacino.
I couldn't do it. What section did you go with?
92 to 97. Barely making the 5-year qualification, but because it's Pacino and I revere Pacino, I moved it up higher up the other night I watched Irishman again.
So where are you? You're starting at
Glengarry Glen Ross, which I think is great, and I directed that play. Scent of a Woman. Love Carlito's Way.
Okay.
Heat. City Hall, which is a great politics movie with him and John Cusack. Donnie Brasco. Could even go to Devil's Advocate. Could even go to The Insider in 99. So that could be the run. 92 to 99.
But then he does nothing for 2 years. So it seems weird to go 2 years out and just get one movie for it. For me,
where are the 2 years? Oh,
Devil's Advocate is the last listed on IMDb, 97, and then it's 2 years until.
Well, I think it's 1 year because he doesn't do anything in 98, but he comes back in 99. So he did something in 97. He did something in 99. So it's only 1 year in 98 where he didn't do anything. It's not 2 years.
Okay. It's 2 years off between releases is what I'm saying.
Depending on when it was released.
Okay, well, now I'm going to look it up. It's just fucking for the pedantic motherfucker in San Diego.
Are we debating this or not? I mean, this is the game.
It broke my heart. I was like, how is Pacino not making my list?
Hoo-ha. How come it doesn't say on IMDb when it was? It should, I guess, maybe down there.
It is. Oh, fuck you. It's over 2 years. It's 2 years and 2 weeks.
So it opened up in October 19 of 1997. That's Devil's Advocate.
and the other is November 5th of 1999. So it is 2 years and 2 weeks after, which means he didn't work for 2 years. Finished shooting on that last movie and then took 2 years
Insider. Off. Oh, he probably did plays or whatever.
Could have.
Yeah.
That's not a bad run.
That's
not a bad run.
It's not. I had to put it in here. It's Pacino, for fuck's sake.
I see. I wanted to squeeze him in. The problem is, it's like, all right, 92, Son of a Woman, no. Carlito's Way, I don't go back for. 2 Bits, never seen. Heat, yes. City Hall, I don't believe I've seen.
It's so good, dude. People don't give it enough credit. It's so good.
Donnie Brasco, like Heat, I love. Devil's Advocate, I think is interesting. But it's just like, there's 3 movies in there that I'm willing to die for.
Mm-hmm.
Glengarry, Heat, Donnie.
Oof, Glengarry's so good.
Yeah, there's Carlito's, 2 Bits, City Hall, Devil's Advocate. I'm like, eh.
Mm-hmm.
So that's me.
So that's what it was. He started doing, he did the documentary Looking for Richard, which they don't list in the acting thing. So he was directing a documentary between 97 and 99.
You know what that is?
About what?
That's not my problem.
Yeah, but it's still a movie and he's the director and it's a documentary. So he still made the switch to even be a director here, exploring the influences of Richard III. And it's a good documentary if you guys haven't seen it. Looking for Richard.
Look, what we got here is a YP, not an MP. I see.
I'm just saying. And Baldwin, Kevin Spacey, and Winona Ryder in that, amongst other actors, for sure. But I get it. I get your issues. All right. So what's your 2?
So I think technically my 2 should probably be my number 1.
Okay.
But my number 1 was the first individual I thought of.
Okay.
And then went and looked it up and was like, that's pretty fucking stellar. So my 2 is De Niro.
Oh, that's my 1. Okay.
Probably should be. The 87 and 97 run is ridiculous.
Yes.
And I also have 73 to 83 on there.
Okay.
Because you got Mean Streets, Godfather 2, Taxi Driver, Deer Hunter, Raging Bull, King of Comedy. You're like, that's pretty amazing. But then 87 and 97, Untouchables, Midnight Run, Goodfellas, Awakenings, Cape Fear, Backdraft, This Boy's Life, A Bronx Tale, Mad Dog and Glory, Casino, and then Heat.
Yeah. That's
ridiculous.
It's a stellar run.
Yeah. Utterly ridiculous.
Yeah. And you don't even have, like, what is that year again? I have it here again. Oh,
87 and 97?
87 and 97. Right. Yeah, exactly. So
he has 2 11-year runs.
What are the bad ones?
In that mix, there's not a whole lot. That's the other reason why I was like, don't want to stack Pacino up against De Niro, but
I'd even move it back to 86, bro, with The Mission. The Mission is incredible.
Okay.
So 86, you have to include Angel Heart if you're going to move back to 86. That's an 87 film, but not a bad film. And he's damn good as the devil in Angel Heart. Untouchables. Yeah. Midnight Run. Jackknife, I didn't see, but that's him and what's her face, Kathy Baker. But it's a Vietnam veteran movie. Where No Angels was okay. Him and Sean Penn. Stanley and Iris, not that good. Goodfellas, Awakening. Guilty by Suspicion is an interesting film about the blacklist. Backdraft, he's good as
he is great as the investigator.
No, you're right. He is great. I apologize. You're right. He's great. When he's talking about the fire and he's letting it on fire for William Baldwin in that scene is fucking stellar.
Oh yeah, and then how he knows the seductive nature of it.
Yeah,
with Donald Sutherland.
Yes,
and then the way Sutherland looks at it like it's his only true love in this world.
Yeah.
Oh, there is some excellent acting in there. There's also a lot of bullshit I'd cut out.
Yeah, Ron Howard.
I still think the movie is pretty great though.
But Cape Fear is where you cut it, right? 91, or do you go all the way to Mad Dog Glory? Because you got to include Night in the City and Mistress, which are not good movies.
I did because then if you extend to 97, you get Casino and Heat. So you go Mad Dog Glory, Casino, and Heat, plus Bronx Tale, This Boy's Life.
Yeah, but you also have The Fan, which wasn't good. Marvin's
Room. Well, The Fan is the year after. That's 96. I'm
not. Sorry about that. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, did I?
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which is fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. So you stop at Heat and you just go, dude, that's. I may have written it down wrong. I did. I wrote down to 97, but it's 95.
So I was confused when you said 97. I was like, wait, what?
No,
Okay,
it's
so
95.
95. Okay.
Because in there, like between,
Yeah.
there's only everyone's the Mistress with Night in the City. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
whatever. But then you got Mad Dog, This Boy's Life, Bronx Tale. It's like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein sucks.
But let me counter something with you. This could be very interesting. We've just finished discussing Pacino. Is it better to not have done a film for 2 years, or during the 2-year gap between Backdraft and Mad Dog and Glory, or Cape Fear and Mad Dog Glory, you do 2 crap films in the 2 years in between?
What I don't see I see like the 1 year, the Mistress Night in the City is all 92.
Right.
But 91 is amazing. 93 is so we're only
It's
talking about
91 to 93. If the release date is October and 93, the release date is November, you got the same thing as Pacino, except Pacino didn't do anything while your guy made 2 bad movies in that year.
Okay, but he
Or
turned
my
around,
guy
came back.
number 1.
Yeah, but he came back and did 3 straight after that I think are all great. So that's the difference. You're taking 2 years off for one. I'm getting 1 year of mediocre production to get 3 straight movies. To me, that's an easy trade-off. I'm getting more bang for my buck. Trust me, it broke my heart when Pacino didn't make my list. There's a bunch of actors and actresses that are just like, I can't look at that resume versus this one. This is an amazing run. But it's not quite as amazing as this one.
Wait, when he takes that break between 97 and 99, yeah, he comes back with The Insider. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Any Given Sunday's not that good. Chinese Coffee's not good. Insomnia is the next thing that's good. It's 2002.
That's 2002. Okay. Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
So it's like one crap year, but then the next 3, and then it's like the next.
I mean, you're qualifying. You're qualifying your choice, but
no, I am,
because you're saying he came back with 3 great ones, as if that matters versus coming back with 1 great one. Like you're making
it does
that up
matter.
out of thin air.
It does matter.
For you matters to you.
So why I was saying,
it matters.
You know what beats 3 great ones? If there were 4. You know what beats 4? If there were 5.
But it depends. If the one you come back for is greater than all 3 of those combined,
it's not greater than all 3 of those. And I love The Insider.
Okay.
But are you genuinely telling me that it's
I'm just
better than all 3 of those combined?
I'm throwing that out there.
Mad Dog Glory, This Boy's Life, and A Bronx Tale?
Yeah, I would say Insider is a better film than all 3 of those combined. Yes.
But if you were just like, okay, Insider, we'll just say it's a 95 out of 100 on whatever scale, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that this 89, 92, and 94 all added up don't just destroy the 95?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because you never need to see Mad Dog and Glory, Bronx Tale, or This Boy's Life ever again. You can see it once and get the movie. The Insider is something you can go back to multiple times, and I think that carries weight.
That's fine, but
it's our list, so we get to debate it as we see fit.
But
De Niro's my number 1, so he's your number 2. So I should be fighting for De Niro a little more instead of against.
You probably should.
And I imagine your 1 is my 2.
Quite possibly.
At least I hope. So
T. Hizzy?
Yeah, Tom Hanks. Absolutely.
He's the first name that I thought of, and you just look at it's an 11-year run.
Yes.
With literally every movie.
Yeah.
There's not one single movie in there that is not iconic.
In 92 to 2002, where did you go?
Yeah, of course. 92 to 2002.
Yeah.
Literally every movie, here's the order, people. A League of Their Own, Sleepless in Seattle, Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Apollo 13, Toy Story, That Thing You Do, Saving Private Ryan, Toy Story 2, The Green Mile, Castaway, Road to Perdition, Catch Me If You Can. He didn't do any movies outside of those in that run. That's fucking incredible.
Yeah. Plus, he produced Band of Brothers during that stretch as well.
Yeah.
And From Earth to the Moon. Yeah.
Band of Brothers is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Yeah. Plus, That Thing You Do, directed it, wrote it. That's good English. Wrote it, produced it.
Yeah.
And still put out a movie that I think is it's a lot of fun.
Well, and you could argue he made top 5 movies, depending on who you're talking to in terms of critics, in multiple genres, right? If you look at League of Their Own, that could be a top 5 sports movie in a lot of people's minds.
Could be.
Sleepless in Seattle could be a top 5 movie for romantic comedy in a lot of people's minds. Forrest Gump could be a top 5 movie in a lot of people's minds. Apollo 13, certainly as a drama, could
Toy Story.
Toy Story is one of the best animated films ever made. Saving Private Ryan, a lot of people argue one of the best war movies ever made. Castaway, maybe one of the greatest solo performances ever delivered without speaking through a majority of the movie. Yeah. That's incredible.
There's very few actors that can pull that off. Road to Perdition, then finally playing the heavy. Catch Me If You Can.
Switching to play a villain. Great point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Catch Me If You Can, kind of handing the torch off to another generation.
Yes, right. That run is the beginning of Tom Hanks being the central focus. And then Catch Me If You Can is him handing that over to DiCaprio.
Kind of, yeah.
Great point. Great point.
And DiCaprio takes over and just like, boom, I'm working with Spielberg and Scorsese nonstop. And he's already had a pretty incredible run up until then with James Cameron and Danny Boyle. But yeah, Hanks was the first person I thought of. I'm like, look at that run.
Yeah. It's a stellar run.
Yeah. When you look at De Niro's, it's like, I have to defend. Yeah. Whereas with Hanks, it's just like, I don't look at that. There's nothing in there to defend. They're all stellar.
Yep. Yeah.
So anyway,
I agree with you.
There are lists.
There are lists. There are separate lists. We're going to put this thing together. Let me grab the bongos as Matt starts the process of putting this together.
All right. So do you agree with me on Tom Hanks? That is the first major question. He's going to get the bongos. Do you agree with me on Tom Hanks?
Yeah, Tom Hanks won. That's fair. Absolutely. Especially after we just kind of broke it down that way. I think it absolutely has to be number one.
All right. So then De Niro, and we'll say the 87 to 95.
Yeah, that works.
All right. Meryl Streep, that's a 3-5.
Yeah, that works.
You got Pacino at 3, right?
I do have Pacino at 3, yeah.
All right. So I got to cut and paste the people plus the years.
Oh, yeah. Denzel.
You want to go Pacino next?
Sure.
Well, it's either that or Harrison Ford we have as a 5-7.
What about Denzel? Where is he for you?
I don't have him.
In
my top 15.
So you don't have Pacino or Denzel
or Tom Cruise.
Or Tom Cruise. Wow, interesting. Okay.
We have in common left.
I'm
Harrison
happy.
Ford, Eddie Murphy, Russell Crowe.
I'm happy to move Harrison in the top 5. That's fine. But then we have to go with Pacino and Denzel next, at least.
Well, really, you're just calling your shot for two guys.
They're in my top 5. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I've got my number 4.
Great. We'll do that.
So you have Pacino. It's
3.
3.
Yeah.
What's the year?
Oh, shit. Hold on. 92 to 97, I think we said with Pacino.
Okay. And you have Denzel where?
Denzel's 4 for me, so we may have to flip.
We do have to flip.
All right. You got all your top 5, but all right, that's fine. We'll flip.
What that has to do with this,
please,
I'm not sure.
Please.
All right.
You call
it in
it
the air.
You call it this time.
All right, I'll call it in the air. Flipping now. Going tails. Oh, it's a thing of beauty when it lands right, you know?
You know what?
It's a thing of fucking beauty. Jim Carrey and then Denzel.
That's ridiculous. All right. So how many have we got left now?
Well, Denzel, you're saying what years again?
Oh, sorry. Denzel is 98 in 1989 to 2001.
We have 3 spots left, 8, 9, 10.
So we've got Eddie Murphy and Russell, right? So we
don't. We need to.
That's what I'm saying. We need to put them on, right? Because we both have them on our lists.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got Eddie at 6 and Russell at 7.
Yeah, I have Eddie at 8 and Russell at 9, so that works.
Okay. All right. So Eddie there.
Okay.
Putting Russell next. Now we have 1 spot left.
So my highest that's left is Tom Cruise at 6.
Tom Cruise makes the fucking list.
Yeah, Tommy boy, give me that
years?
Smile. 86 to 2004. That's a superstar.
Overrun. 19 years.
Star. All right. Let's do this. The top 10 acting runs. Yeah. At number 10.
Tom Cruise from 1986 to 2004.
At number 9.
Russell Crowe from 97 to 2007.
At number 8.
Eddie Murphy from 82 to 88.
At number 7.
Denzel from 89 to 2001.
At number 6.
Jim Carrey from 94 to 2004.
At number 5.
Al Pacino from 92 to 97.
At number 4.
Harrison Ford from 80 to 85.
At number 3.
Meryl Streep from 2002 to 2009.
At number 2.
Robert De Niro from 87 to 95.
And our number 1 acting run is
Tom Hanks from 92 to 2002.
Reach for the Sky. Nice stuff. Nice stuff there. A lot of fun breaking those things down for sure.
And we've got Sam's list.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear Sam's list.
I said, there are so many ways to define run or streak. So I went with a run of critically acclaimed box office success or movies that I just enjoy. Also, depending on the length of the run, I allowed a clunker or two, parenthetically, or a movie I hadn't seen. He says, I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of really good answers. It's also said that I only have one actress and one person of color on the list, though that may be more of an indictment on Hollywood than me. I think that's kind of true.
I think that's true. I felt the same way.
Yeah, so did I. I was like, trust me. You don't think I looked at Luis Guzman's IMDb? You're fucking crazy.
I tried with Viola. I couldn't quite get there.
Viola, Salma Hayek, Penelope Cruz, Javier Bardem. Benicio came close, but not really.
Benicio kind of drops off.
Yeah, it does. It's not as solid as everybody else's. All right. At 10, he's got Ed Norton.
Oh, nice choice.
99 to 96. Fight Club, Rounders, American History X, Larry Flint, Everyone Says I Love You, and Primal Fear. Then he's got at 9, Harrison Ford, 80 that he went to 89, just like you did.
Oh, yeah.
Denzel, 98 to 2002. He cuts off the early part. Goes Fallen to John Q.
98 to 2002. That's only, I guess that qualifies for 5 years. All right.
Yeah. Tom Cruise, 86 to 99. Scarlett Johansson.
Oh.
I didn't even think about Scarlett.
I couldn't quite get there with Scarlett. What year did he go? What years did he go?
Doing 2013 to 21. So her, Chef, Winter Soldier, Lucy, meh. That's what he says. Okay. Avengers, Age of Ultron, Hail Caesar, Jungle Book, Civil War, Sing, Ghost in the Shell, Rough Night, Isle of Dogs, Infinity War, Endgame, Marriage Story, Jojo Rabbit, Black Widow.
Dude, there's so much I can throw out of there. I don't know. I can't.
There's quite a few.
She's barely in Chef. And I would adjust you to go back to Under the Skin, which is in 2000. So start with Under the Skin. You can even go to Don John, which a lot of people like, 2013, and go to her. But then you've got Chef. She's not really a big part of Chef. That's
Rough
all.
Night, I didn't see.
That's all John, whatever his name is. I like Lucy. Avengers, Age of Ultron is not a good movie. Hail Caesar is not a good movie. She's good in Jungle Book. That's a good movie. Civil War. Sing, I didn't see. Ghost in the Shell, she got absolutely skewered for. Rough Night is terrible. But I'll give you Isle of Dogs. So there's too many for me to include Scarlett. That's why I couldn't make it work.
I didn't. There are so many people, like when we were starting this, I didn't look at Nick Cage's.
Oh, I did. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I didn't. But I looked at so many and I was like, oh, yeah, Nick Cage. It's like, it's too late now. I don't give a fuck. But I knew there's going to be countless people like that. All right, 5, he's got Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I tried with Brad too. I couldn't quite get there.
Couldn't be either. 99 to 2009, but I think there's enough missteps in between.
Yeah, there are.
4, he's got DiCaprio. Couldn't do it myself.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
2002 to 2015. The problem is there's a bunch in the runs where, plus I don't have the same affinity for a few of his movies that others do.
He says a few clunkers. There's more than a few clunkers in that run.
Yeah. His runs, you got Gangs of New York, Catch Me If You Can, The Aviator, terrible. Departed, Blood Diamond, Body of Lies, Revolutionary Road, Shutter Island, Inception, J. Edgar, Django, Great Gatsby, Wolf of Wall Street, The Revenant. I immediately take out 2 or 3 of those.
Yeah, at least I would toss out Blood Diamond, toss out Body of Lies. I know you like that film, I think. toss out.
See, the weird thing is, I take out Aviator before I took out both of those.
Really? Oh my God, no!
I never felt any connection to that movie.
Fair enough. I would throw it at Revolutionary Road. I don't get why people love Shutter Island. It is
Me either.
a boring ass movie.
Yep. Great Gatsby, Mike.
Yeah, Great Gatsby. Forget it. You can toss that out as well. Yeah. So yeah, it's just too many.
Did the same thing.
Even J. Edgar is kind of on the line, to be honest with you. It's a good performance. The film itself is kind of boring.
Yeah, out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
3, he's got Russ Crowe.
Yes.
97 to 2005.
Mm-hmm.
So he cuts it a little bit earlier than us.
Interesting. Okay.
2 is one that I thought about. He's technically my 15, John Cazale.
Oh, Cazale.
It fits perfectly. It's a 5-year run. It's 5 movies.
Yeah.
I thought about it, but I was like, yeah, but then you stack it up to these others like Harrison and has the only short run like that where it's.
But there are gaps here that are too big. Like Godfather Conversation is 2 years. Dog Day Afternoon to Deer Hunter is 3 years. So those are too big, those gaps. But the fact that every single film he was in was nominated for Best Picture, I think, or won Best Picture is pretty fucking incredible.
See, it is. And 1, he's got Tom Hanks.
Yeah, Tom Hanks. That makes sense.
And then he's got honorable mentions in Nick Cage, Gina Davis, Jim Carrey, Matt Damon, Schwarzenegger, Gyllenhaal, Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
I had all of those except for Spacey.
Ditto.
But I didn't even think about Spacey because he was one of countless people's who IMDb I couldn't do. I wanted to do fucking Humphrey Bogart or Katherine Hepburn or Gregory Peck, or I looked at so many, but it just because of those studio system years, it's like, I didn't see so many movies. I can't be honest with myself or anybody else and be like, oh yeah, no, it's definitely, look at that run. Be like,
I tried with Brando too, but it wasn't there.
I tried with Paul Newman. I tried with Robert Redford. I tried with Gene Hackman. I tried with, but they were all like, here's 3 years that I know I can give you an honest assessment of. Right. Boom. 4-year stretch. I got nothing.
Like if you start with Brando, you start with On the Waterfront, right? In 54.
Okay.
But you've got Guys and Dolls, which he's terrible in. Tea House of the August Moon, which has shades of racism in him. Young Lions is damn good, but that's 58. So you've already jumped 4 years to get the next good one. And then Fugitive Kind is damn good. One-Eyed Jacks is good. But then Mutiny on the Bounty is not that good. Ugly American, Bedtime Story, Morituri Chase. It just falls apart. It absolutely falls apart. And if you went to Streetcar, you still have to include Viva Zapata, which is not that good. And The Wild One, which is, I guess, good, but not really. But then Julius Caesar's the good one there. So it's just got a lot of bad ones mixed in with some good ones. So.
You know who I was kind of shocked I couldn't do was Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah, me too, dude. I really was. I was like, I know these movies.
Yeah, it's got to be a 5-year stretch for Jimmy to get in here.
And then it's like, nope.
Yeah, so, haven't seen. Oh, I've seen that. It's fine. And then there's other ones like that's an all-time classic.
Right. I even tried with Katherine Hepburn. I couldn't quite get there because I haven't seen. I've seen the major ones. I haven't seen all of her films. So there was some smaller ones. I'm like, I can't even tell you if that was good or not. So.
Yeah, she like a lot of actors started so long ago.
Yeah.
There's a whole boatload of movies I've never even heard of before.
Yeah,
it's Vanessa Bryant calls the mayor. And that's like that's the title of the movie, and that's the movie. It's the female version of Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. But it's like that was the studio system. They're just churning out movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tried so many, and then eventually I got frustrated. I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah,
because I'm finding a nada. So then I just focused on past like 45, 50 years.
Wow. Okay.
But there it is. Sam, thank you,
Sam.
An incredible topic. We loved it. It was a shitload of homework, but worth it.
Yeah, no shit. It was a nice challenge.
It was.
Nothing else. Okay, well, let's wrap it up there because we're already at almost 2 hours on this show. So thank you all so much for listening or watching. Matt, what do we have to tell them?
Hit us up on Twitter at Top 10 Show, and on Instagram and YouTube, it is /The Top 10 Podcast. So please join the discussion. And if you'd like to suggest a topic, head over to patreon.com/The Top 10 with the number 10. We'd love to have you over there, part of the group. And please follow me at Matt Knows. Check out Settle the Score. And that is it.
Yeah, there you go. You can follow me at The Roca Says on Twitter and on Instagram. If you want to head on over to Twitch, The Outlaw Nation there as well, and my YouTube channel, youtube.com/John Roca Says. Come and enjoy all the stuff we're doing there. All right, and yeah, be part of the Patreon, for God's sakes, ladies and gentlemen. Be part of the Patreon. Some of you mentioned how you want to donate more because we've got a limit on how much you can donate per month. But we're exploring the possibility of opening the door for that. Let us know what you would want to get or what you would want to suggest. Or if you just want to donate more, we can just create a level at a higher level there, and we can just set it and say, this is for people who want to donate this much, but you don't have to. So the perk is you get to donate and support the show. All right, that's it. Let's get on out of here. We'll talk to you guys next time for a brand new episode of the Top 10 Show. Peace.